You are 29 years old. You are sitting in your car outside an open house on a Saturday morning, holding a coffee that costs $7, and you are pretending that number does not bother you. The house has white siding, a tiny front porch, a 2-car garage, and a little sign in the yard that says, "For sale," like it is offering you adulthood in exchange for the next 30 years of your life. Your phone buzzes. Your landlord just sent an email. Rent is going up again, not by a lot, just enough to feel personal. You look at the house, then at the email, then back at the house. And this is the moment the question starts living in your head. Should you buy a house or should you rent forever? Nobody asks this question calmly. They ask it after a rent increase, after seeing a friend post keys on Instagram, after hearing their parents say, renting is throwing money away for the 900th time. You tell yourself you are just browsing. You are not just browsing. You are emotionally trespassing. Version 1 of your life starts here. You buy the house. The realtor smiles like she has seen this scene 400 times. The lender says you are pre-approved, which sounds like a compliment, but it is actually just the bank saying, we believe you can suffer consistently. The house costs $420,000. You put 10% down because 20% would require you to locate money that currently exists only in motivational podcasts. The mortgage payment comes to $3,250 a month. That includes taxes, insurance, PMI, and other mysterious adult ingredients. At first, it feels amazing. You walk through your own front door, your own. You stand in the empty living room and listen to the echo. No upstairs neighbors stomping like a wounded buffalo. No landlord. No leasing office sending emails written by someone named Madison, who has never fixed anything in her life. You are finally building equity. That word becomes your emotional support animal. Equity. You say it to yourself while buying a lawnmower you did not know you needed. The first month, everything feels like progress. You paint the bedroom, you buy curtains, you get a welcome mat that says something painfully optimistic. You walk around the hardware store with the confidence of a person who owns walls now. Then the water heater dies. Not dramatically. It simply stops doing its one job. The plumber says $1,800. You laugh because your brain thinks he is doing a bit. He is not. The first rule of home ownership. The house waits until you feel safe, then introduces itself. By month 6, your weekends have changed. You used to go hiking, meet friends, waste Sunday mornings like a civilized person. Now you spend Saturdays comparing mulch prices and watching videos titled, "Why is my toilet making that sound?" Your house has become a part-time job with property taxes. You still love it, but love is different when it has a roof leak. Your friends ask if you want to go out. You say, maybe? Maybe means no. You have a gutter situation, but something is happening slowly. Every mortgage payment hurts, but a piece of it stays with you. Not all of it. Do not get romantic. Most of it is interest at first. The bank is eating steak while you chew financial lettuce, but a small piece goes to principal. Month after month, a tiny part of the house becomes more yours. You start checking Zillow like it is a sports score. The estimated value goes up by $8,000, and you act humble about it for exactly 7 seconds. Version 2 of your life begins in the apartment. You decide not to buy. You renew the lease, even though the rent increase makes your eye twitch. Your rent is now $2,300 a month. You tell yourself renting gives you freedom, and it does. When the dishwasher breaks, you submit a maintenance request and return to your life. When the AC stops working, someone else pays. When the roof leaks, that is not your spiritual journey. You do not own the problem. You only live near it. Renting feels lighter. You can move cities, change jobs, break up, start over. You are not attached to a furnace, a school district, or a neighbor named Gary who power washes his driveway at 7 in the morning. You invest the money you did not use for a down payment. $42,000 goes into index funds. Every month, you invest the difference between what the house would have cost and what your apartment costs. Some months, that difference is $700. Some months it is zero, because life enters the chat wearing boots. At first, renting feels smarter. Your friends are replacing windows, paying HOA fees, fighting ants, and learning that minor foundation issue is not a cute phrase. You are sleeping. Your investments grow quietly in the background. No maintenance emergencies, no property. Tax bill. No random $9,000 expense because the words sewer line appeared in your life like a villain. The second rule, renting is not throwing money away. Renting is paying for shelter, flexibility, and the beautiful privilege of making someone else panic when the pipe bursts. 5 years pass. In the homeowner version, you are 34. The house payment still feels big, but your income has grown. What used to feel impossible now feels annoying. You refinanced once when rates dropped. You replaced the floors. You planted a tree in the front yard, and now it is taller than you expected. Your house is worth $510,000. You have about $110,000 in equity. You did not feel yourself becoming wealthier. It happened slowly, hidden behind bills and Home Depot receipts. In the renter version, you are also 34. Your apartment is nicer now. You moved closer to work. Then work went remote, which made that decision feel like a prank. Your rent went from $2,300 to $2,950. The building added a package locker and called it a luxury upgrade. Your investments have grown too. The $42,000 down payment you invested is now worth more. The monthly investing helped. You open the brokerage app at night and feel calm for about 3 minutes. Then you check rent prices in your city and lose that calm like a dropped sandwich. Both lives are working. That is the uncomfortable part. The homeowner is not automatically winning. The renter is not automatically losing. They are playing different games with different risks. The homeowner has forced savings, stability, and a slowly growing asset. The renter has liquidity, flexibility, and fewer surprise disasters. The trap is believing one choice makes you smart and the other makes you foolish. Money loves doing this. It turns lifestyle choices into moral judgments so people can feel superior at dinner. 10 years pass. You are 39. In the homeowner life, your neighborhood changed. A new grocery store opened. Coffee shops appeared. People started using the phrase up and coming with suspicious enthusiasm. Your house is now worth $620,000. You owe $310,000. On paper, you have $310,000 in equity. On paper, you're doing great. But paper does not fix the deck. Paper does not replace the HVS. Paper does not prevent the property tax bill from arriving, like a government-sponsored jump scare. Still, the house has anchored your life. You know your neighbors. You know which floorboard creaks. You know the exact sound your garage door makes when it is about to betray you. You have birthdays in the backyard. You host Thanksgiving once and immediately understand why people buy folding chairs. Your home is no longer just an investment. It is where your life happened. That is dangerous because emotional assets are the hardest to evaluate. You cannot put childhood memories in a spreadsheet, though real estate agents absolutely would, if they could. In the renter life, you have moved 3 times in 10 years. Once for a job, once because rent got stupid, once because the building was sold to a company with a logo that looked friendly and policies that were not. You have lived in a downtown apartment, a quiet suburb, in a place with a gym you used 6 times, and paid for emotionally every month. Your investments are solid. You have no home equity, but you have a portfolio. It does not need a new roof. It does not call you during dinner. But renting forever has its own quiet pressure. Every lease renewal feels like a performance review, where the apartment grades your income. You do not control the long-term cost of your shelter. The landlord does. The market does. A spreadsheet in a corporate office does. One email can change your budget. One sale can change your address. The third rule, renting gives you freedom, but not control. Owning gives you control, but not freedom. Choose your cage carefully. Some cages have granite countertops. 15 years pass. You are 44. In the homeowner version, your mortgage payment is still there, but inflation has changed its meaning. The payment that once felt enormous now feels strangely manageable. Your salary has grown, but your mortgage stayed mostly fixed. That is the secret advantage nobody feels in year 1. Fixed debt gets smaller as your income grows, as long as your life does not expand faster than your paycheck. The house did not make you rich overnight. It made your housing cost more predictable, while the world got more expensive. In the renter version, your rent is now $4,100. You make more money too, but the rent followed you up the ladder like it had access to your calendar. Your investment account is impressive, but you need discipline to keep it that way. Renting only beats buying if you actually invest the difference. Not think about investing it. Not plan to invest it after vacation. Actually invest it. The market does not reward good intentions. If it did, everyone with a podcast would be retired. This is where the two lives separate emotionally. The homeowner feels trapped sometimes, but rooted. The renter feels free sometimes, but exposed. The homeowner worries about repairs, taxes, and being house rich but cash poor. The renter worries about rising rent, market crashes, and whether they will still want to move boxes at 61. Neither path removes anxiety. It just changes the shape of it. Buying gives your anxiety a roof. Renting gives your anxiety a forwarding address. 25 years pass. You are 54 in the homeowner life. The mortgage is almost gone. The house is worth $850,000. You owe very little. You remember the first payment, the fear, the water heater, the weekends stolen by repairs. Now the house sits there like a stubborn monument to every month you did not quit. Your monthly housing cost drops dramatically once the mortgage is paid. Taxes and insurance remain, because freedom in America usually comes with a bill attached. But the largest payment is gone in the renter life. Your portfolio may be larger than the homeowner's net equity if you invested consistently and avoided panic selling during every financial headline designed to shorten your lifespan. You have flexibility. You have money that can be sold in pieces, moved, rebalanced, used. A house is wealth you live inside. A portfolio is wealth that does not care where you sleep, that matters. Liquidity is underrated until life demands cash quickly and your wealth is hiding behind drywall, but retirement approaches differently in each life. The homeowner can imagine living with lower housing costs. The renter must imagine paying market rent forever. That does not mean the renter loses. It means the renter needs a bigger portfolio and more planning. Renting forever is not irresponsible. Renting forever without investing is. Buying a house is not automatically wise. Buying too much house is just renting stress from the bank. With extra steps, at 65, the homeowner wakes up in a paid-off house. The kitchen is older now. The tree in the front yard is huge. The neighborhood has changed twice. Some friends moved away. Some passed away. The house holds decades of life. Financially, it created stability. Emotionally, it created continuity. But it also cost time, repairs, flexibility, and thousands of small decisions. You did not just buy a house. You bought a relationship with a physical object that constantly needed something from you. At 65, the lifelong renter wakes up in an apartment chosen for convenience. Maybe near family, maybe near the beach, maybe in a cheaper state, because moving was always possible. The investment account is the real home base. It grew because you treated renting not as a failure, but as a strategy. You did not have equity in walls. You had equity in choices, but every year, rent still arrives. The landlord still has your email. The market still gets a vote. So who won? The annoying answer is the person who understood the trade. If you buy a house because everyone told you renting is stupid, you may trap yourself in an expensive life you were not ready for. If you rent forever, because buying feels scary, but you spend the difference on brunch, upgrades, and little emotional emergencies from Amazon, you may wake up with neither equity nor freedom. The fourth rule, the best financial decision is not the one that sounds smartest. It is the one you can survive consistently. Buying a house can be powerful. It can freeze part of your housing costs, build equity, force discipline, and give your life a place to land. But it is not magic. It is not guaranteed wealth. It is a leveraged asset with plumbing. Renting can also be powerful. It can preserve flexibility, reduce responsibility, and free up money to invest. But it is not automatically freedom. It is a monthly subscription to shelter with terms and conditions you do not control. The real question was never buy or rent. The real question was, what kind of pressure can you live with? Some people need roots. Some people need mobility. Some people need a backyard. Some people need a brokerage account and a lease they can leave. Some people buy peace. Some people rent options. Both can work. Both can fail. The numbers matter, but so does the person living inside them. You sit in your car outside the open house again. The coffee is cold now. A young couple walks out smiling, holding the brochure like it is a treasure map. Across the street, someone unlocks an apartment door above a small bakery, carrying groceries in one hand and a laptop bag in the other. 2 lives, 2 strategies, 2 kinds of anxiety wearing different clothes. One has a mortgage, one has a lease. Both are hoping the future becomes affordable before they run out of patience. You open the rent increase email again, then you open the mortgage calculator, then your investment app for the first time. You do not ask which option makes you look more successful. You ask which one gives your future self the most room to breathe. Because the house is not the dream. The apartment is not the failure. The dream is not needing panic to make financial decisions. The dream is waking up one day and realizing your life was not owned by a landlord, a bank, or a payment. It was owned by you.